Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is A. Christine for the Cat Harvey and A. Christine show. Happy Saturday, everybody. How are you doing? How are we feeling? Man, this is our Saturday weekend check in, okay? So I just wanted to stop in for a few moments just to check back with you. Last weekend, I know we talked about beginning again and how that was okay. We discussed some steps. So we'll jump into it. But first, of course, first and foremost, shout out to my lovely co host, the one and only Kat Harvey, AKA, oh my gosh, I just went blank. What was the Carmen San Diego? You guys remember that cartoon from the 90s? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? That's how Kat is. She's here, then she's there, then she's a little bit of everywhere. She is just that type of person. She's jet set. She has been a boss for so many years, and I'm just grateful to know somebody like her. So give it up for my girl, Kat Harvey, the one and only. She is doing her thing as only she can. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody, all of our beautiful family, friends, fans, people who tune in and watch the show, whether when we're live or you catch the playback. Welcome to everybody. And guess what? Give yourself a high five because you made it to the weekend. Yes. So, hey, weekend. We're here, guys. Welcome to everybody. If you are new, or even if you've been watching us for a while, but you haven't, taken the next step in our relationship, do me a favor. Go ahead and follow us, like and subscribe to our various platforms you will see down below. We have YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, soon to come to TikTok and a few other platforms as well, just to, expand our territory a little bit. But just wanted to say hi. Feel free to follow us there. Join the tribe. Listen, we are here for you and we want you all to be here for us. We push out content. We keep you encouraged and we give you inspiration to continue on the journey that God has you on. So, with that being said, let's not prolong it. Once again, welcome to the show. This is A. Christine. Let's jump into this. So, really simple, just a weekend check in. We're going to be on here for a few minutes. As you guys can see, I'm in the baseball cap, in a hoodie. I am doing weekend work. Okay. And oddly enough, that's kind of what I wanted to piggyback on beginning again with doing the work. So we set some goals, we did some reflection, some introspective work, but now begins the physical part, the actual work. And so today I am like power washing things and pulling weeds in my garden, prepping it and getting it ready to receive new seeds so that the soil and water and sun mixture can sprout up something beautiful. But I always find how it's so amazing that we'll do things in life that are that are in direct correlation to what we need to be doing, with ourselves, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. So as I'm pulling the weeds out, some of them come out really easy. Some just slip right out of the ground. Then there are some that take a little resistance, or that give me a little resistance rather, and it takes a good amount of muscle. Some of them I have to go in with a little digger, some mini shears or bigger shears, and really clip down the leafy part of it, the part that's seen. Then I have to go for the root system. And I'm like, okay, I'm really tussling with these weeds and bagging them up and getting them out of my garden so my gardens can be ready for flowers. I have a flower bed, then I also have a bathtub garden, and I also have some contained gardens, like some flower pots. And as I'm weeding and turning over the soil, I thought about what we talked about last week with beginning again. And now that we have said, I want to begin again, these are some goals. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get recertified. I'm going to go for extra certification or another degree. I'm going to pursue a happier or more healthier environment. an atmosphere in my home, in my marriage, in my relationships. I'm going to be more outgoing and, gain more friends, create communities with people that matter to me. Now that we've said that, now we have to go do the work. And so sometimes the weeds in our lives may be inconsistency, uh, poor communication, negative self talk. And like some of those weeds that I'm like chopping away at with my shears, right? All of these leaves and things are what you can see on the surface, and they've sprouted up and grown up, and they're tall and they're huge, and the leaves are big. So after you snip those away, you bag them up and get them ready, in your lawn yard bag for those of us who for those of us who deal with our yards. But you pack up those leaves and you get them out of there so you can get the stalk or well, I guess you would call that the stalk, what they grow off of, the branches and things of that nature. Then you clip away at that, put that in the bag, and now once that's done, you got to get at that root system. Because if the roots do not come out, it's going to simply grow back. And so, for those of us who are trying to do something new, this is just my weekend check in. Really simple. I'm in, then I'm out because I got to get back to gardening. y'all see the hat, okay, and the hoodie. But for those of us who are doing the work, who have stated, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I am trying. This is what I'm just gonna put myself out there and go for it. Now that you have said what you wanted, now we got to do the work. And so we clip away the leaves of what's seen, the big part that can sometimes be so ugly to look at. Then we clip away at the stalk, the part that's supporting the leaves, and we get that done. But once we get those two done, we got to get at that root system. Got to get those roots of inconsistency out of your mind, the roots of a low self-esteem out of your heart. Whatever it is that has been holding you back, the roots of procrastination, talking to myself. The roots of, oh my goodness, what is it? It's not self abandonment. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. Self sabotage. Yes, you get things going to a good point, and then out of nowhere, you'll always find a way to mess it up. So if we don't get the root system out of our heart and out of our mind for the things that are holding us back, we will never achieve, no matter how many lists we write down. Okay, even no matter how much you pray, you have to open up and let God come in, remove those roots. But if we don't get those roots out the way, no matter how many lists you write down, how many planners you buy, how many retreats you go on, girlfriend, it won't be right. So, as I am working on my garden, I also feel the Lord working on me. And I can be honest and say, over the past maybe 2 weeks, He has really been working on me with Proverbs 15:1, which is a soft answer turns away wrath. I told the Lord that I wanted to refresh. I wanted Him to refresh the atmosphere in my home, which also then plays a big part in refreshing the atmosphere of your mind, not just your mind, but your spouse's mind, your children's mind. People who come into your space, they can feel the just the uplifting spirit, in your home. They can just feel so good. And that's because you're doing the work to make sure the atmosphere of your home is clean and clear, right? It's free, it's fresh, it's uplifting, it's rejuvenating. And so where God started with me was a soft answer turns away wrath. And you all might think that's a funny spot to start. Like, why start there? And I said, well, Lord, why would we start there? Who needs a soft answer? Okay. If any of you are married, you probably know where I'm going. And so as women, we keep the tempo of the home. We set the tempo and we keep it. And so when my husband maybe says something to me that I don't like or that I don't agree with, a lot of times we can feel like we got to fight fire with fire, or fight that fire with a small spark. Like, maybe I won't go all the way in my comment, but I'm going to let him know, hey, I can get just as sharp. I can be just as sharp as you. I can be just as jazzy. And it's nothing like when God checks you and says, that's not the right way. So he checked me on it, and he gave me Proverbs 15:1. And I can honestly say that I have seen the change in the atmosphere of my home. I have seen the change in the types of conversations that my husband and I have, especially when it's a conversation where we have opposing views. Um, I can honestly say that I have seen the change even in how he responds to me, or my natural inclination to maybe snap back now has changed to a soft answer turns away wrath. And even though I could voice my opinion and fight that fire with fire, fire only begets more fire. And so if you want the atmosphere, which was my prayer, Lord, I wanted the atmosphere, Lord, I want the atmosphere of my home to be, just more peaceful, more uplifting, just friendly, happy. It cannot be those things if it's on fire. Fire is hot. It makes people uncomfortable. People want to get away from it. They want to put it out. People don't want to sit in fire. And so then I said, oh, wow, God, I guess I didn't think of it that way. While I'm saying what I got to say, right? With the neck and the finger, right? While I'm saying what I have to say and voicing my opinion. And nowhere in this am I saying be a doormat. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that a soft answer turns away wrath. And while I am voicing my opinion and just saying what I have to say and fighting that fire with fire, uh, I'm also making the atmosphere of my home unbearable. He doesn't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here. My children don't want to be in here. Family and friends that come over don't want to be in here because they can feel that stuff, you know? And then please don't think that the fire is not on you. You were the fire starter. So you're carrying that fire with you. And you then also go into other atmospheres and set little fires. And people are starting to get a little uneasy around you, maybe not talk to you as much. It's because you're on fire, and we got to cool down. And so one way, again, that God is helping me to cool down, and I just thought it was changing the atmosphere of my home for the better. It's changing the atmosphere of a lot of things. But it just started with a prayer request, a desire, and one scripture that he gave me, which was Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath. And as I am, again, back to my garden now, right? So as I'm weeding out my garden, I'm like, okay, Lord, I understand what you're doing. Take it out of me. Take out that need to say what I have to say at the wrong time or in the wrong way. I can honestly say that I have seen a change in my husband, just based on how I'm responding. And this is not manipulation. This is just the word of God. This is goals and dreams, right? If you're married, you want a successful marriage. You want, a good atmosphere in your home. You want to just feel the love. You want to be in love with your partner, and you want your partner to be in love with you. And it's hard to love a slick mouth woman. I'm just going to be honest. It is hard to love a slick mouthed woman. It's hard to love a slick mouthed man. I'm not going to, just let the men go free. Okay. Uh-uh. It's hard to love people with slick mouths because you never know what angle they're coming from, what they're going to say. And you always feel like you have to be ready and guard yourself and shield yourself, which can put you on edge, which makes you nervous and anxious, which makes you jumpy. And, you kind of get in that fight stance like, I wish I would, right? But people with slick mouths, they put you there already before you get around them because they're just going to say anything. And you got to be ready to say and defend and jump to the defense of. But all of that eventually makes you say, you know what? I don't even want to be around them because it's always something. I always have to say this, or I always have to, and you don't even feel like living like that. So what do? Begin to cut down on the time that you're around them. So all of that rolls back into the atmosphere of your relationships. This could even be friendships, right? Professional, like work relationships. You limit that time around those people that are on fire because you realize you don't like that and you don't want to be around that. So you limit that time and you keep it to a minimum. You keep it to only what's necessary and then you get out of there. Right? You make sure you have something else to go and do so that you are not caught up with them all day. All of that said, back into this weekend check-in. It's okay to begin again. It's okay for me to be married for 7 going on 8 years and say, Lord, I want to refresh the atmosphere of my home. I want to refresh the atmosphere of my marriage. I'm beginning again. I told you all last week that I recently re-enrolled in school or enrolled in school to earn a degree. And I am beginning again. I went to college after I graduated from high school. But then I decided to live life and to learn from Life University. So I decided to drop out. And now here I am, all these years later, beginning again. So all that said, I have to continue to pull out those weeds of procrastination, inconsistency, not finishing and not following through. And then I have to allow the Lord to get the root system because I can't do it on my own. I have to let him put his super on my natural and make it happen. So listen, just encouraging you guys to dream the biggest dream, right? Tell God those things that you do want and begin again. You start to do the work, God will finish it up and he will make sure that you see it through to the end. Listen, guys, I love you. I think that you're amazing. And I see my daughter trying to get in the gate. One moment. Come on. It's okay. Come on. Hold on. You want to say hello to everyone? Hi, guys. So here we are. Sorry for the long pause. Nevertheless, but again, dream the biggest dream. And then let God put, oh, Ashton is not happy with me right now. But let God put his super on your natural, okay? You guys can do it. Let's work on chopping away what's seen of the weeds of our heart and our mind. And then let's let God get the root system so that we can achieve all of those things that we want to achieve as we begin again. We will see you guys next weekend. We have something really great for the month of June, and I cannot wait to share it with you all and for us to do this thing together. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.